it's a good cover because you look at it and you're like Sleepy Time Tea, and then you see the little bear, and he's already fallen asleep on the chair having the tea. Like that's how sleepy it is.
That is a sleepy little bear. Hello, everyone. Well, hold on. Let me check the audio on my OBS and make sure it's actually working. Yes,
And
it's
I'm not
working.
going to spray anything because it's likely that I'll just end the whole thing. Oh no, there's a few items here.
Hey, so hello, sorry, coughing.
Ooh,
hello once again, everybody. Welcome back to PowerWash Simulator. We're the Peepolorians. I'm Jack.
I'm Taylor, and I'm adjusting my volume.
Dad's computer still is not working, so we still are not playing, or not resuming Reft quite yet. But we got plenty more PowerWash Simulator for you.
Yep, and I will be.
What the fuck haven't we cleaned?
I'm getting the monkey bars right now.
Okay.
They're moldy.
Stools, climbing pole.
Oh, how's your audio? Did you change the audio settings?
Yeah, I looked at them in OBS. OBS says they're working.
Alright, that's good. And let me bring up a little tab. That way I can check the chat if I need to.
Away, soccer ball! You are uncleanly. You are kicked by nasty-ass
Castigate the enemies of the Godhead.
Jews. Every day. Investigate the enemies where? What?
I said castigate the enemies of the Godhead, and you're like, investigate the enemies where? It did what in a cup?
Did what to who for how many cookies?
Oh, that's an old. That brought me back. That was from like middle school. That's an old one, man.
I heard it from my uncle. Never before that had I heard it though.
I think I heard it back in like middle school, and like that was like prime middle school humor.
Yeah, that makes sense. Where the fuck are the rest of the stools at?
You know, I remember walking on the rock wall and thinking, "Oh, that's so clever! Like they made the rock wall climbable." Like, of course they did, but and I mean, it's probably on purpose. But the funny thing is, like, the rock wall is inclined, and the walking, your ability to, the walking of, what's it called? The walking system in this game is pretty generous, where you can go up some serious inclines, no problem. So they probably didn't need to like specially program it that it's climbable, but it is pretty neat.
Oh, that's where you were most. Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Because the stools are not clean. Did you get the... Okay.
Yeah, I fucking found it. It was hiding.
Yeah. Alright, we got that stool sample.
The stool sample is procured.
I just remembered, I just remember, every once in a while I have this flashback to, like, early game theory where, Matt was talking about the harpoon weapon... The harpoon weapon from Mad Max, and he's like, harpoon, thunderpoon, poontang, and I'm like, sir, that means vagina. You clearly didn't know what that meant when you said it, and then edited it, and then posted it on the internet.
I didn't know that happened.
There's something really funny about that just lingering there, where it's like, well, you done goofed.
That's definitely something I would have done as an early YouTuber had I been an early YouTuber, you know, at a
I'd be like, oh, that sounds funny, and you're like, oh.
Oh, that means pussy. Welp.
That's a genital thing.
That's a genital. Those are genitals.
What am I... We're looking for large bridge slats.
Are these the large bridge?
Oh, they're the vertical bits here. You get the inside. I'll try to get the outside here.
Looking around for dirt.
Look at me. Turn around and look at me.
Stop.
Alright, so you see me,
yeah.
right? And now see where I'm aiming these things.
Well, these are bridge gaps too, aren't they?
Yeah, but the ones I'm looking at are the ones that are glowing.
Oh, these are the larger ones?
Yeah, because I just realized that they're called large bridge slats, not because the slats are large, but they're the slats on the large bridge, because this bridge is longer than the other one.
Ah! I feel really dumb now.
I feel so clever now. Oh, apparently there's still one left. What is it? Oh, it's the blue one on the far. Yeah. I can laser it from here. You get the other side. There we go. I hope my fan isn't audible. I have a fan, like a whole little desk fan under my laptop, just blowing air at it because my laptop was weirdly warm, and I didn't like that. Right, slide platform. There's only one slide, not including the dinosaur slide.
Oh, hold on a minute.
Oh, I see that.
Alright, there we go. What else are we missing?
Yep. There we go. Hey! Tower vertical struts.
Slide platform. Oh, I see.
Wait, slide platform? There's even more slide platform that isn't clean?
Yes.
Oh, there's a little back here somehow. Yeah. The leg of this. Yeah. And try to, I don't know, I can't tell from my end, but make sure that you use the precision mode often, just so you don't make the audience dizzy.
Oh yeah, precision's important.
So you know how a long time ago I was like, oh, I won't talk about like this MMO because like I don't want people playing it ironically. It's not very good.
Right.
Well, now I have the opposite example where there's a game out there that isn't very good, but it was made by like 2 people that I think is kind of neat. Josh Strife Hayes covered it recently. It's called Animist with a Y, and it's just wild. Like it's like 10,000 years after some sort of apocalypse where everyone had somehow died, and you are basically like awoken, where you and I guess lots of other people are now either skeletons or zombies. Effectively.
Sounds weirdly similar to Breath of the Wild. How you wake up like in the middle of an apocalypse. I don't know if you find any skeletons, but I feel like people you knew were definitely dead, probably.
Yeah, but like, oh, okay, the underside of the. Wait, I cleaned this platform. What the heck? I
haven't actually gotten to play Breath of the Wild. I want to. I did get to see a playthrough of it. That was pretty fun.
Hold on. Yeah, it says the slide platform still isn't clean somehow. There we go. Right, but like, there's something so just intriguing about it. How like everyone is sort of like philosophical, where they're like, "Wait, why am I awake? I was sleeping, and now I'm awake, and I'm pretty sure I was dead. Dang it! Why are we in this purgatory? Why are we in a desert?" And like, the lore is hidden in a series of like book pages, basically, and those are like the main goal of the game.
What game is this?
Hey! Speaking of lore, look! There's a gnome behind the tree over there.
Fuck that gnome. What game was this?
Animist. And
the
thing is, I find it interesting, and I think other people should play it. But I'm not going to play it until I don't know, until a little while when it's updated more. Simply because it's still what's the word? It's a little wonky. But there is something fascinating about like about a game like that. I think there's something what's the word? Sort of, is postmodern the right word? Like an art imitates life, where the game is about how like everything like died and came back, and you're in this weird purgatory. But the game itself didn't catch on, and so there's hardly any people there. But because they don't like power cycle the player-made structures, there's like ruins of like structures that players had made like 2 years ago. So there's like remnants already. There are like remnants from lost civilizations.
Oh damn!
In a way. Josh had an interesting point though, that it's like you have to be careful with your player-made construction, because like if you have a system for it, I'm sort of paraphrasing, but like if you have a proper system for it, then you can make it that your houses like look cool and are utilitarian and like attractive and stuff. But if it's a complete free for all, then you always end up with at least two structures: endless staircases, so people can just look at the entire map from one place, and towers that look like penises. And I'm like, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Where the fuck are the rest of the trims at? It says there's
It
still
says here,
dirty
let's see, tower
trims.
trims.
And I
I'm
just
hitting the
cleaned
button.
some of them,
It's not that one.
and I'm in a freaking...
What the heck do they mean? What is a tower trim exactly?
Well, it's these guys.
Roof,
I'm guessing because I just cleaned a little bit of them, but it says they're
Well,
still dirty.
There should be. Oh, the bottom plate, the very bottom 2x4s. Oh, it's this one. You want to do the honors?
Wait, which one?
Not that one, but down here.
Yeah, I see
on the
it.
ground there.
And complete. Haha.
Nice.
Nice.
You know what I would. Oh man, it'd be beautiful. You know what they need to do a crossover thing for in this game in the PowerWash simulator?
What?
So they've done so many games. They got the Tomb Raider, they got Final Fantasy, they got Warhammer, and now they got SpongeBob. They got quite the spectrum. But I think they need to do one with Alan Wake and or Control.
That would be fucking cool.
Like, can you please scoot? Can you scoot? I'm gonna have to push you over so I can get out of here.
What? No.
You're not watching your. There.
I'm looking at my job done screen and looking for a new job. But I was gonna ask, do you want to do the new SpongeBob level or nah?
I would. I would like to do that.
Right, cool.
Let's see here. Do I even have that?
Let's see.
Like buy it?
Well, no, I don't
it
think
like
you have to buy it. I think you
thing?
just have it. This add-on is available for... Oh, nope, I was wrong. For purchase and download, you will now be taken to the Steam store. How much is it? I mean, I'm not going to buy it right now, but how much is it?
This is one of the games that, like, I'm actually interested in getting DLCs for, because they've been pretty cheap or free.
Oh, yeah, $8? That's not too bad.
The game keeps the game going.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I still haven't beaten the main campaign, per se.
Right. Alright, well, since I don't want to buy it right now, we're just gonna resume the rest of it and, well, try to have it...
I haven't seen any of the levels, only a single thumbnail of, like, the outside of SpongeBob's house. But I have a proposal for a level design if you're gonna do SpongeBob. And it's, you see, you have to clean up the Krusty Krab because Squidward promised that he's actually working at a 5-star restaurant, and Squilliam is coming over tonight.
Dude, that would be an amazing level!
Like, it's such an obvious setup where it's like, yeah, you have to clean it up.
Yeah, you gotta clean it up. You gotta clean the place up before the big fancy guy gets here. Otherwise, he's gonna know that you're full of shit and he'll make fun of you.
Otherwise, oh man. Alright, hold on. What am I looking at here? The driveway is technically stone, so yeah, let's use some stone soap.
The driveway is technically stoned, I mean stone.
Wait, the driveway edge is multi-purpose? Why is it multi-purpose? How is it different than stone?
Man, I don't know. I don't get paid to ask questions, I just clean the shit.
I don't ask, but I do ask questions to get paid. Oh yeah, do you get the text in free play mode? I don't know if you do.
I think so.
I really like this one where it's like, yeah, so there are these markings on the house. We think it's like Enochian, the language of angels. They could, but you know, they could just be markings left by the construction company.
Yeah, they could be. Who knows? The world, we never know.
I mean, they're clearly not like protective sigils, because well, it didn't protect them from the whatever Sasquatch magic made this place all dirty.
Maybe they just didn't do it right.
Wait, hold on, I just realized something. If I go to this, and then that.
What kind of BT Sasquatch bullshit is... Dude, what if there was a BT that was just a Sasquatch?
I could see that, but also, I would love a, hold on, a power wash simulator and you're cleaning, like, a suite instead of, you know how the private rooms in Death Stranding are really small? They wouldn't make a good level, right. They'd be a little too small. Right. So it would have to be like a suite, you know? It would be like, Dead Man's Office or something, right?
Oh yeah, dude, that would be a cool DLC.
I love that.
How is there no Death Stranding DLC for this game? It's such a perfect game for this. Because you'd be like, yeah, there was a BT attack and now we need the place to be cleaned up because there's just a bunch of BT goop everywhere and we can't. It's a mess and we gotta...
Blue Jack, I did the dumb thing.
What dumb thing did you do?
Look at me.
Looking at you? I see that you have the long extension attached.
Did you look at the thing I'm holding though? Look at the color.
The thing that is orange. Oh, the silver. It's silver
It's
now?
it's gold and it's got like a wooden handle. It's very cool.
It does not look gold, nor do I see a wooden handle.
Looks like that from my end. I can send you a screenshot. I didn't think you were gold colorblind.
No, I don't think I'm gold colorblind, but I wonder if it just doesn't show up for me. Like, hold on, can I?
It's got like if I get really close to you, can you see the little details on it? It's got like little filigrees.
Oh yeah, hold on. I see like a sort of cool.
Oh, sorry, I won't move. I'll stay here.
I see like a sort of cool design pattern on it.
Yeah, and on the on the inside, if I turn it. On the left side of it, it says like 16 karat gold, which is so ridiculous.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Get back.
Sorry, I'll stay still.
Is it on the handle or on the
barrel? I'm gonna look at the stream. Yeah, I can see it on the stream. What are you talking about?
Well, then maybe I just bad at seeing things.
Yeah, that's definitely like metallic.
Yeah, it's metallic. I don't see the.
I mean, normally it's made of plastic, so for comparison, this is the default.
Yeah, okay.
That's what the default looks like.
That doesn't look gold to me for some reason.
It's pretty small. I mean, it's huge on my camera in first person, but I just looked at the stream, and it's actually hard to see your buddies like power washers.
Yeah, it is.
What if I gotta say, like, one bit of constructive criticism. I know that I don't use the Urban X thing anymore, but like for everyone else's sake, please make the Urban X model like slightly lower on the camera, because as it currently is, it's like right up to your eyeball, and it takes up a lot more space than the rest of the power washers.
Right.
It's kind of like, did you ever play Fallout 4?
I have not played a single Fallout game ever. Not yet.
The laser rifles in Fallout 4 are these huge, like, boxy guns, and they're really, really close to the camera, and so people have even made mods specifically just to, like, move it out of the way, because they're like, yeah, I really like laser rifles, and I think that I think that players should be able to use them without like handicapping themselves because they can't see what's behind it.
Right. Did they ever patch that, or do you have to use mods for it? No.
I think you have to use mods because I don't know if I guess that wasn't a consideration, but both the regular lasers and the ones that the Institute use, which are actually kind of ugly, they're like huge and boxy and in your face.
Man, that's...
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like a like sometimes how much space something takes up on the screen. If it's too much, it really can be detrimental to the whole thing. It's kind of like there's I'm trying to remember what weapon it was. There's a weapon in Team Fortress 2 that is it has this identical stats to another melee weapon, and I think the demo man can use it. But the variant version is like a battle axe, and it looks really cool. But because you hold the battle axe like blades like perpendicular to your eyes, it takes up like half your screen, and so no one likes using it.
Man, that blows.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, and it's funny because like I would like with the character model, I feel like that would be a really simple patch because you just rotate how at what angle the character holds it. Like you don't have to change like where the hitbox hits or any of the stats or anything. You just have it that its default position in Demo Man's hands is rotated. Like he's already in the battle axe holding position. Because if you face it so it's parallel to like perpendicular, if it's running parallel to his line of sight, then you would just see sort of the blades. You just need to see enough of the battle axe that you can see a little bit of it and be like, ah, yes, cool, battle axe. My brain understands what that is, without it being in the way.
What a battle axe looks like.
Yeah, it's good. It's the same thing with the frying pan, where it's like, yes, everyone gets a giggle out of the frying pan, but they don't like using it because it takes up a comical amount of the screen. Which is technically matches its performance in Left 4 Dead as well, where it's like, no, I'm not going to use a frying pan, even if it had really good stats. I wouldn't be able to. It ruins my situational awareness.
Oh, probably help if I refilled the soap. Yeah, I'm over here. I'm over here like blasting soap on the wood. Like, why isn't the dirt disappearing? Press R to refill.
You're just like anemically like spurting some regular water onto the wall. I don't have a power washer. I'm just submitting some suggestions to the wall, and I'm leaving it up to the wall.
You could be clean. You'd feel a lot better. Why don't you just do that?
Be cool if you did. This definitely feels like a game that like should have like a banger soundtrack, and it doesn't.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. And if you might be thinking to yourself, I'll just buy the PowerWash soundtrack that you can get with the game and listen to that. There's only one song on it, and the other thing that's on it is just a.
There's two songs technically.
That other one is not a song.
Which there's something really funny about that. Like. PowerWash has been consistent in their updates and stuff, and active enough that I'm not going to say like, oh, they clearly have the soundtrack as like a cash grab. But there is something really funny about having a soundtrack for a game that is technically the entire soundtrack of the game, but it is the carousel song, and the song that presumably plays in the end credits.
It's just a troll sale. It is just a troll sale for.
It's a really So if you bought the game and you want to support the developers even more, and you don't want to have to like find their personal PayPal or something, then I guess buy the soundtrack.
Yeah, buy their joke of an album.
Well, actually, I mean, there's probably going to be DLC soon enough, so just look for that.
Also, that. That's so funny though, like I'm not even mad. I'm not like, well, I gave you money for this bullshit. No, you know what? I bought a joke. I bought a joke and it made me laugh, and I'm not mad about it. Well played is all I have to say.
Dude, I just realized that if they had the it would be really wonky if they had the Death Stranding level, right? But then like that was the one level that had like a soundtrack to it, and it was really good because it had like several of the songs from the game.
Oh yeah, don't be so serious.
It's all this melancholy music.
Yeah. Which, I don't know why, but something feels comical about that song specifically. Something about don't be so serious, but in like the most serious melancholy tone possible.
I didn't think of it that way.
because all their songs are like dramatic and like melancholy sounding, which I love. It's funny. It's funny to have randomly "Don't Be So Serious" in a song that sounds like that.
If I recall correctly, there was like an update to Viscera Cleanup Detail like recently, like in the last few like months.
Really?
And that baffled me because I thought they were like 100% like never touching the code of the game again, and it got my hopes up where I'm like, hey guys, you know how PowerWash Simulator like showcased that like yes people do like this genre of game and they like cleaning things and like there's lore and stuff. Basically, I wanted to send an email and be like, hey, you should hire me. Just hire me to make this game.
Right.
I mean, now I'm learning Unity, so I actually can I'll be better at understanding the code and stuff. But mainly, it was like I want to make help make the game and the mechanic and write up the like mechanics and stuff. Like I had this idea where have you seen Viscera Cleanup Detail?
I think I saw a playthrough for it. I want to play it. It looks really fun.
One of my proposals was a zip line that you not only use for yourself, but you can use it on buckets and the sort of trash like boxes. And so you'd set them up, and it would let the player feel creative because they get to set up them in tactically sound locations. And it makes moving some of the moving buckets and stuff more efficient, which I feel like is basically I would want to add like a whole like upgrade system and everything. I think it would be really popular.
That could be neat.
But yeah, I do wonder. Do you think it's like a double-edged sword situation where like now they know there's a market for like cleaning things up type games that have like lore going on in the background, but do you think they got like cold feet about it where they're like, okay, we know there's a market for it, but what if we put all this like money and stuff into making it, and then people are like, well yeah, but I already have PowerWash Simulator. Like, do you think they think it's too early or something?
Maybe. Definitely something to consider. Many of franchises have been crushed before their time because of bigger franchises eclipsing them. Titanfall 2 deserves better.
Yeah, that's the thing that messes with me is that like sometimes it's like something's released at just obviously the wrong time, where it's like, oh, this came out the same time as like this other game that was in a similar genre and had a competing market. But then I look at like Days Gone and I'm like, I think there must have been like a marketing issue that people just didn't know it existed, because like it didn't sell that well, but it was a really good game, and it was basically at the time it came out, it was like the spiritual successor to like those big like 4-act, heavily character-driven like stories, and it would have been the spiritual successor to The Last of Us. And now The Last of Us 2 exists, so it doesn't really need a spiritual successor, but like it's there.
It definitely would have been. No, dude,
that
Days
reminds
Gone
me,
is such a weird situation. Like, it baffled me so much because when I did go online to see what people thought about it, it was all bad stuff, and it was just about the game's earlier days when it was full of glitches and was buggy, and like, yeah, I saw examples of what it looked like before and get what people are talking about, but like, man, the version I played was way later, and I didn't have any of those troubles. All I got was amazing character work and a great story. Like, how
it is that classic tragedy of like a game is released too early.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe. It's fucking tragic, though. I love Last of Us, but I also love Days Gone, and I wanted both of them to like stand together as the two big zombie franchises of gaming, but nope. They're not gonna do a Days Gone sequel because they're fucking stupid and don't have good ideas.
I did want to contact the guy the more recent, technically there are like two creative directors for Days Gone, and I've seen both of them, and like I found both of them on Twitter. But the more recent guy, he was the one who was quoted recently as like, "Man, I really wish we had stuck to our guns and held out when it came to making a sequel or something." I forget the actual like logic and like how that would work, but because like Days Gone 2 would have been coming out like about now, which was earlier this year, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking, like, a lot of the time I feel like part of the creative process is making something new, and part of it is, like, making something out of spite because it hadn't been done. Where it's like, why wasn't this done? Why can't this exist? And I see that with Days Gone, where I wanted to email that guy and be like, hey, what's a bunch of stuff that you wanted to add to the game, and how is there a way that we could put that into a game?
Listen.
Basically, like, because when you think about it, all the ideas that all the ideas that you had that didn't go into Days Gone 2 because Days Gone 2 never happened, those aren't copyrighted, and you can use them anywhere, including on a couple of goofballs running an indie dev company.
Man, I'm picturing you like in a back alley with an overcoat, like talking to the, like in an internet chat room, like with an avatar talking to the fucking game developers, like, hey, psst, listen, I'm an aspiring game developer we're working on making a game. If you just like gave me your ideas for Days Gone 2, I could like very spitefully put them in a game and reference you guys and be like, y'all suck and you should have made this.
Yeah, because like, and that's the thing, is that like, there's some things that companies own, but there's plenty of things that they don't. Like I think I mentioned this like a zillion different times, but like it still like floors me that you can make a game that works exactly like Breath of the Wild and not get sued by Nintendo, if only because like they don't own the sheer concept behind they don't own the mechanics of Breath of the Wild. Presumably that's why Genshin Impact like exists, as they're like, hey, we're gonna make a game and it's gonna have all these crafting components and it has a ridiculous amount of overlap mechanically, but it's just not very good.
Yeah. Hold on a minute. I'll be right back. To continue telling stories.
Yeah. All right. So audience, yeah, like, what the heck? Oh, those are sprinkles on the wall. I thought those were cat paws. But it got me thinking that I always assumed that the reason why we can only have like one Breath of the Wilds, I mean, now we technically have Tears of the Kingdom as well. I always assumed that the reason why you couldn't have a game like that was a combination of, it's a highly technical game and you need a lot of expertise to make it, and that Nintendo presumably owned like the copyright to all those like mechanics. But no, there's no copyright on the mechanics. In fact, apparently that's something I'll have to look more into. But like, apparently that's not a thing. That's why so many D20 unlicensed D20 games exists in the tabletop worlds. Is that you can't be like, only we use 20-sided dice. Well, it got me realizing that like, you can make a game that works like Breath of the Wild and has completely different lore, and you'd be fine. I mean, the hard part is actually making the game, but that there's no reason why you can't, you legally couldn't make that game. It's what's got me excited about game development, really, is that I'm realizing, there's a lot of the stuff that you can make that'd be really fun, and there are all these like niches, like as a game player, as a gamer, as someone who plays video games, like whenever a game isn't quite good or like scratches that like itch, but you want more of that, like you just sort of have to hope that someone makes a game. But once you get into game development, you can be like, hey, what if we just made this? It'd be really neat.
Yeah, what if we just make this really cool thing that would be super profitable? Hi, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Because like yeah, as long as it's not like copyrighted or whatever, then you can do it. I mean, there's the technical aspect, sure, and there's plenty of games out there that are hard to replicate simply because of their code. But like, you could what's the word? You can get really really creative.
Yeah, you could.
Got most of the most of this entire wall over here. I think I'm doing pretty well. Also, there's something sort of exhilarating about there's something kind of exhilarated about being in indie dev because like all of the spite energy of like, hey, they should make a game like this. It starts to inspire you. Or like, yeah, I could just gonna go make that.
Yeah.
Like at least to show that it's possible.
Oh, dude, we were talking about the idea of like a Baywatch game, but like a sort of Telltale style. Well,
oh yeah, yeah.
Firewatch style, and then you were like, wait, I picked something like that with Telltale, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I can't remember if that was during a stream or not, because if it was during the stream, we would have already have it on recording. But like, yeah, it was like, what if? I think we were just pitching like, what if like. How would you pitch certain TV shows as video games? And I was like, man, how would you even, like, I went through this whole mental process of, like, how would you even make some of these shows like video games? And then I realized that a show like Baywatch, which on its surface doesn't make any sense because it's really hard to make a show about lifeguards. Well, it's because at the end of the day, it's mostly about drama between the characters and primarily solving crimes, because the lifeguards just solve beach crimes in Baywatch World. And I was like, alright, that's a good start. And then I realized, like, the, like, Telltale style, now that I think about it, you know, Telltale doesn't, like, own the entire concept. You could make a Telltale style game. Blue Jack, we could just make a, just make a game like that.
Make a Telltale style game. We should do that. That should be one of our projects.
I mean, the worst that could happen is that it's, I feel like the hard part would be getting the graphics engine or whatever, but like, oh, what's the word? But I realized that Baywatch would actually work really well as a Telltale style game, where you have like a bunch of little objects that you can fiddle with, but most of the time things are, levels are sort of divided by scenes, or into scenes, and how you interact with characters determines what kind of answers you get, and the plots sort of will split depending on your decisions, but they sometimes merge. Basically, it would be like, you know, like various supporting characters would be, you know, Hobie will remember that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
And I realized, like, oh, that's actually exactly how like an episode of Baywatch would work. And everyone at home is like, how did these guys know about Baywatch? You guys aren't old enough to remember Baywatch. And it's because we've been watching Baywatching, the Baywatch review show by Alison Pregler.
Yeah, by hit YouTube channel Alison Pregler.
Dude, how like full circle would it be if we made a Baywatch style, it's both Baywatch inspired, Telltale inspired mechanically game, and it only, but like, I feel like it would be so much of a stretch though, because we don't have like the brand cash or whatever, but like, it'd be really funny if we had that and it was just like, yeah, this all started because we were like, you know, Allison's work is really neat, and I like how she recharacterizes these characters, and we want to build something like that.
Dude, if we ever
from the ground up.
If we ended up making like a Baywatch game somehow in the future, we would definitely have to have like a sort of Alison Pregler cameo in it. Alison Pregler, I think, is on my list of YouTubers who are probably safe.
Why are you pronouncing? I can tell that you're pronouncing an A in her surname, and I don't think that's correct.
Pregler, isn't it like
Pregler? I'm pretty sure it's an E.
Pregler, it's A-R, isn't it?
I don't think so. Well, it was ER.
Well, whichever. Alison Pregler, I just don't know how to fucking pronounce her name.
Allison something.
Yeah, she's on my list of people who are probably safe and cool, because, like, I believe Linkara
Yeah, I would
is in
say
her
so.
circle. I know that Phalis is at least in Linkara's circle, and Phalis is also in her circle. So
Oh yeah, I
I'm
would say
guessing
that
she's cool.
she's on the short list of people who are YouTubers that like I think are pretty legit.
Yeah, there's like a list of YouTubers who, if you're affiliated with, I'm gonna assume you're probably cool.
Yeah, but sorry, what you're you have a point behind that?
I don't.
Unrelated.
Oh yeah, we should give her like a cameo, and like she should get a cameo in a Baywatch game if like we ever.
The thing is,
in some
though,
reality, if we ever made it up
the thing, I had a thought, which is like, oh well, what if we released the game and then she like did a review thing of it, and then I was like, yeah, but my biggest worry is that my biggest worry when it comes to like game design, and I think this is a consideration that like we all have to remember, is that a game it has to have a little bit of replayability, like minimum, because if it's gonna blow up, it'll blow up on YouTube, which means everyone's gonna people are very likely to see it before they play it.
Yeah, and then just never play it because of how bad it looks.
Yeah, which is also on the other end of the spectrum. If you make a game that has a lot of personal style or like fiddly bits that people will do in vastly different ways, for instance, like something like Surgeon Simulator or whatever, that's like a built-in mechanic. You know how like mobile game ads will have people play the game poorly on purpose to like get you to go like, oh, that's so easy, I could do that.
Yeah.
That, but just like games like Surgeon Simulator, where you make it a little difficult, and then YouTubers just will in various different ways they'll be like, oh, this is really difficult, or oh, this is really easy, and then people will go and play it.
Right.
But that would be my thing, is that like my worry would be like we'd put so much time and effort into a game that but we didn't add enough like replayability, and then like someone completely in good faith
review bombed and then nobody plays it.
Well, not review bombed, as in like if we made a game that was like completely like played straight and linear, and it was our proposed Baywatch Telltale game, but without the twists or whatever. That if Allison reviewed it or something, then everyone would be like, oh, I understand that. I might buy it, but like a small percentage of the people would buy it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That would fucking suck.
That's also why I think there's actually a sort of like I don't know how much of this is on purpose, but I remember thinking that I think it's FNAF 4. I remember thinking that FNAF 4 was built to troll YouTubers, because out of all the FNAF games, FNAF 4 is the one with the where it's you have the nightmare animatronics and they don't really make sense, and you're just like a kid in a house. And I remember thinking like, oh, this game is like is impossible to do commentary for because it's all like listening, so you have to be really, really quiet.
Yeah.
And I thought like at the time, like, oh, that's hilarious. Like this game, which is popularized by YouTubers, that every YouTuber is gonna want to play, has to be completely silent to play, which means that they all have identical videos where they're all just completely silent.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's kind of messed up when you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, FNAF was a crazy time, man. FNAF was one of those, like, franchises that it took everyone and their mother fucking mentioning it for me to eventually get around to, like, not playing, but watching playthroughs and getting way obsessed with the lore.
Yeah. Oh, I had a realization of the FNAF lore recently that, like, I thought was kind of funny. I was like, hold on, so, like, Freddy, the titular Freddy, he plays the Toreador March, which is a song from Carmen. Is it like is it Italian? I think it's like a classic, not musical. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, like a classic opera, right? But if he's like powered by like the soul of a dead child or something, like was that just a very cultured child?
because...
so that's what Bobby's saying, is like, that's just what the animatronic was about. And so it got me thinking, okay, well, that technically still adds to the lore in a way, because that implies that, like, because there were, like, two guys who made the robots, that implies that that's one trait that we know about them for sure, that if you were a clever person, you would, like, put into more things, is, when they're not, doing mad science and making robots, they're into Italian opera.
Well, you see, what happened was, the reason he knows so much old shit that he wouldn't realistically is because as a kid he grew up before streaming times, which means and his family was like poor, which means all that he had to watch was whatever his parents had. So he just grew up watching all the shit that his parents did, and none of the modern stuff that people our age would know about.
You say that, and now I'm just imagining like an animatronic that is just like a possessed animatronic, but it just like makes like Goof Troop references, or like like it refers to like something that was available like on VHS at their aunt's house or something. Like, oh yeah, I know they know a lot about I don't know, in this case like Italian opera, but. Yeah, for one, I thought you were going to say they know a lot about Hamilton because when they were a kid, but they watched all the animatics on YouTube, which, in my opinion, is the only proper way to watch Hamilton.
I mean, that's the only way I've ever experienced Hamilton. I don't
musical. Just that meme of Omni-Man saying like, "Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power," but it's just Looney Tunes. It's just like cartoons pointing at musicals. I feel like there's a common denominator between them. Like, I feel like it's easy to make a musical, like musicals make more sense from a cartoon's perspective. Oh, yeah. No, the other thing I thought you were going to say is, now I'm just imagining, like, oh yeah, this FNAF animatronic is aware of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like, he shouldn't have, he was too young to have seen it, but he did anyway. Just like, that VHS was just lying around.
He wasn't supposed to, but he did.
He's just now I'm just imagining like they're aware of like various slasher movies that they shouldn't have watched as a kid.
But no, it goes deeper because the version of Roger Rabbit they saw was the weird version that like definitely exists. Maybe I don't know if this is real, but the version where like you see Jessica Rabbit's pussy when she goes spinning out of the car.
Well, that probably would have been the VHS version, but it's only like.
I don't know if this is real or not.
Being nitpicky, but that's only for like a frame, and I didn't notice it as a kid.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like real or not, but I've definitely heard.
I believe it's real.
Yeah, a fucking version where she just has no panties underneath her dress, which is fucking hilarious to think about. But yeah, and whenever he says hi, he like finger guns you and goes "What's up?" because he was raised by old people.
Oh, of course he says the "was up," and of course the way that you can get if he's hiding in the walls, you can get him to emerge by knocking, shaving a haircut. Obviously.
Yes. He like pops out like a mole, and you have to whack him with your flashlight or something.
You have to whack him with your flashlight. But. All jokes aside and stuff, as much as I love the general concept, it is a shame that I feel like I mentioned this the other night while we were hanging out, that like we're just gonna have to have the same conversation we all had about like J.K. Rowling for the last like 10 years, where everyone's like, actually, she's kind of an asshole. You really shouldn't support her. And then like
fucking crazy,
it's just been 10 years of people kind of slowly either realizing, slowly realizing that that's actually true. But like, I feel like it's just gonna be that, but with Scott Cawthon, where it's like, actually, I don't like that he donated thousands of dollars to Mitch McConnell's re-election campaign.
Wait, did Scott Cawthon?
And I know that like a lot of the fandom doesn't like know or really understand what that entails, but like Adam, like without you don't have to even get into politics to not really be a fan of Scott Cawthon, in the simple way that like he went to get the movie made, had some creative disagreements, which is completely fair, which it is right. Went to a different studio, and then just didn't make the movie for like 7 years.
Man.
And it's not like he was busy working on a game, because during that time he retired, which was also kind of rude to the people that like were working effectively under his copyright, because like what was it, like Popgoes or whatever, they were like a FNAF alike. Then they were like a FNAF like game, and Scott, in a move that I thought was actually kind of cool at the time, was like, hey, you know how you want to make FNAF like games? Well, what if we're just gonna add that to the lore? I want to expand the lore and make like expanded universe. And I was like, oh, that's super cool. But then of course, he got in trouble, and then immediately just retired from the internet, which meant that all the people who were like working on a collective project just didn't have the flagship like project that was I'm guessing he wasn't answering any phone calls, because if he was, he would have a lot of missing. He'd have a lot of calls on his phone from what's his name, from Blumhouse, being like, "Hey, are you gonna finish that script?"
Right. Man, that's frustrating. Look, ever since I learned about the existence of Willy's Wonderland, where Nick Cage is like some Doom guy version of just the...
Yeah, we're already at the like satire. We're already at the satire point where
like you're in Five Nights at Freddy's hiding from these guys. Nick Cage is hunting them down and killing them. Go fuck yourself.
Well, the funniest thing about that is that, like, I'm sure that from the perspective of whoever made that movie, it was like a daring move where it's like, well, this is a parody version this is like a reverse slasher movie, right? But on top of that, it's a parody of a genre that doesn't exist in a movie, because the only animatronic horror that existed before that, and this is really funny, was the movie The Banana Splits, which, for perspective, only exists because there was a spare script for an animatronic movie after Scott Cawthon left.
Of course there was.
Which was presumably the script he didn't really like, which is fair. That's still his right. But like,
yeah,
the fact that like while Blumhouse had the rights, not only was a movie made, but also like a inversion of that genre was made, and like entire like fandoms have risen and fallen.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, guys, we don't need FNAF anymore. Like, just as I was saying earlier, like, games don't own entire mechanics. Well, you can make a FNAF-like game with FNAF-like lore, and you don't have to pay anyone, because you don't have to license it.
The reason that I refer to like Nick Cage as like a Doom guy type specifically in that movie is because it's very
he's a
much
force
like,
of will.
He's a force of will. He doesn't talk, and he's just angry all the time, which
so
is just Doom guy, which is why we love Doom guy.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing. Both with that and with Willy's Willy's Wonderland, and with the Violent Nights, it made me realize that there's also with John Wick, I would say that there's definitely a wide open, not untapped, but there's a wide market for, here's a character that you only know a few traits about, that immediately gives you an idea of like what their skill set is, and you can speculate on what it's about, but you have like the bones of what makes their character work.
Yeah, you can like speculate on what kind of history they've had that would have led them to acquire the weird ability to just murder a bunch of fake animatronics.
Well, yeah, well, that's the thing, is that all we know is that he had the dog tags, and we know he was a Marine, and as far as movie Marines go, all movie Marines are like superpowered, so you don't need to, like, it just works. It's like, of course he's like a killing machine.
Yeah, dude, they even did that in like One Piece.
And it's implied that he like survived a previous attack, which is like something that if they put it in the FNAF movie, if it's like, oh, I survived an attack when I was a kid, I remember, and then that the animatronics ate someone and they didn't believe me, we'll be able to be like, ah, yes, That would have been an original idea like 5 years ago.
They did like the super powered marine gimmick in One Piece, which I thought was really cool with like Nami's adopted mom. And at the time, I remember just being like, wow, that's like really cool. That's really cool that you can just have this unassuming mother figure basically have her house invaded and then just bust out with a gun and like combat skills like, bitch, I was in the Marines.
Not to be confused with the Navy in One Piece, who I believe sometimes are labeled as like Marines or whatever, but they're just they are usually just mooks unless they have like a crazy like character design. They're just kind of there.
Well, hold on. Now you got me questioning my history. Was she Marine or was she Navy? I don't remember, but either way, she had great combat skills from being a soldier. And I think that was also one of my earliest exposures to that gimmick, which is why it like fucking made me go crazy at the time, because I was like, oh, that's so cool. What an amazing
there's a lampshade version. There's like a lampshade of that, or an inversion of that in the movie Storks, where they're trying to, the main like sort of B plot per se is that a kid wants to build a landing pad for the storks. And now keep in mind, this is a world where storks canonically delivered babies. Like they were a whole thing. And now it's like a bygone age of myth, which is a cool concept.
Right.
But like, and they're like, well, the storks, they don't do that anymore. But his whole thing is like, maybe they will, but he also convinces them and like, oh, well, this is like a bonding experience. Like both of you are always working so much. That's my favorite line of the movie. Is just fleeting moments, precious memories. Like that's how he gets them to like agree, or it's like childhood. But like they're on the roof and they're trying to build like a landing pad or something, and they're like, come on, Mom, will you join us and help us? That way we can build the landing pad. That way they know how to get to our house. And she's like, all right, fine. Mom's gonna be fun too. And she grabs the sledgehammer and knocks into the chimney, and the chimney just like melts. It just like disintegrates and falls over in this like big expressive spray of ceramics. And she goes, wow, that was not up to code. Like, I am a small woman. like she's aware that it was like it just fell apart a little too easily. Which was really funny. Yeah, that wasn't up to code.
No.
What if you did, dude? What if you just went full circle and you made a FNAF type game, but it's like retro futurism, all steampunk, and there's still a bite of 87, but it's 1887.
1887, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, you don't have security cameras. You have a series of what are they called? Camera obscuras, where it's just like a series of lenses that like shoot the light into your room.
Yeah.
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 Every time you say that, I think of the guy in Resident Evil just like sitting on the floor, just going, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Resident Evil, I said that usually, yearly, around October, I check out whatever is new in Dead by Daylight, just because it's always a delight to see. It's always a delight to see how they're single-handedly keeping the slasher genre alive.
Right.
Like, that's not a diss. That's me like appreciating. It's like it's my same thing with the. I always lump these together, where it's the same thing with like Hitman, where I feel like the spy genre, although there have been more like movies that are like adjacent, that the true like spy genre is sort of preserved in the Hitman games, because they have the essentials of a spy genre, but for modern times, and are less about big main villains and more about like societies and movements per se.
Right,
but with Dead by Daylight, it's the slasher genre, where the slasher genre never really dies per se, but like it definitely had like a golden age, and I like that it's got a sort of like second golden age, if only in like lore for a specific video game.
Yeah.
So I check it out every once in a while, and more recently, they added a handful of characters. I'm not going to remember them all, but one of them was like a meat robot. Like it's a robot, and it's got bits of meat on it. And that was really cool. Because I was wondering, they don't have a lot of non-human slashers. And it's the first one that's canonically like from the future.
Dude, what if you had like a fucking slasher where it was all androids? You know how like we have like anthro universes that are just like normal and are.
I'm trying to think.
What if slasher?
I'm trying to keep that in my head, but I keep thinking of like things that are just like PG. You know, like you're like a Zootopia situation, and I'm like, no, that's not like spooky enough.
Nah, yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, hold on, animal, and then I just think of the guy who he's not an animal, he just has the boar mask from Demon Slayer. He's just running around with the swords. I mean, if whatever happens, no matter what happens, I just hope that they don't add the guy from the last season of Stranger Things. One, because at the end of the day, he's actually kind of boring and not very compelling as a slasher villain. But furthermore, because it's sort of out of spite, where I don't find him particularly interesting, but I also feel like he was made very cheaply and in a way that it would be easy to put him in Dead by Daylight. Just it wouldn't be that fun. I told this joke like way back when the season was fresh, where it was like, yeah, I can see this guy looking at the camera, being like, "Please add me to Dead by Daylight. Look, I can hang people on hooks. Just give me a chance." It's like, no, you didn't. They didn't finish writing you. Right. You're not done cooking. You gotta go back in whatever kiln you came from.
I don't know if I ever finished that one. Did I finish Stranger Things? I don't remember. How many seasons was it? Was it 3 or was there a 4th one?
You know, I could do like more like individual critiques of Stranger Things, but like I feel like someone else already said it way better, which is that the first season, I think maybe second season of Stranger Things, sort of resolves a lot of the issues that the characters have, like interpersonally, and what their main goals are and what they're trying to do. And there are some loose ends, but like because it wraps up really well, and that in a way that like a movie should end, that it didn't need another season. And if it had another season, you'd have to deliberately like sabotage what everyone was doing just to get enough episodes out of it. I wonder what's left. Hold on.
Well, we got the gutters, one of which I'm doing right now.
Look, Lujack, it looks like we just cleaned 12 bricks.
I just cleaned 12 bricks. Man, no one's gonna get that.
No one's gonna get that. It's like... And now, every time that we do that, and then we go, no one's gonna get that, I think of that recent episode from the Captain Disillusion, where he does a reference to like a really old skit that I don't even know what it was called, but it's where these two buff guys clap their hands and they go like, "We're going to pump you up." Yeah, like I only know that secondhand from like my parents, but he does that reference and then he stops in and then like it's him overlapped audio with himself and he's like, no one's gonna get this. They're too young. It's kind of racist. Like
it's kind of racist.
Like and it's funny because it's like, no, you're right. Like if I'm the target audience and I am slightly too young to know what he's talking about, then no one else around my age is gonna remember that either.
Well, see, here's the thing. It doesn't have to make sense if it's dumb and goofy enough to still make you laugh.
If it like stands on its own,
yeah. Yeah, but then the example for that, I think, is the beach running gimmick from Fairly Odd Parents, where they're just running really slow, and they're like, "Where were you when I needed you 10 minutes ago? We're slow, but we look good." And that's just the whole running gag through the whole episode.
I like how there's something like very funny.
It's referencing Baywatch, and I'm like, oh, I didn't get that at the time, but I thought it was fucking hilarious, so it doesn't matter.
The funny thing is, like, the slow running was the only thing I knew about Baywatch until I started watching the Baywatching like review show, and now I'm realizing, you know how like I always do like a parenthetical. You know how like everyone has at least like one. Everyone has the same exact joke about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh,
Or it's like
with Nina.
so how to something hybridization.
Something
And then I was
Griffin.
baffled that was in like the first season in like the first like
Not
few
Griffin,
handful of episodes.
Chimera.
Yeah, Chimera. But I remember thinking like, wait, hold on. I thought this was like a deep cut where like you had to watch a bunch of the show to get to it. No, this is super early in the show, which means like I myself have only watched a handful of episodes for Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I know that, and I haven't watched anything since, which means that technically I still get all of the jokes because no one makes any other jokes.
Listen, man. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about the.
Hold on. Before I get more sidetracked, though, but with Baywatch, where it's like, I feel like the first joke everyone knows is like the slow running, but when it comes to actual Baywatch, I feel like the joke that more people should be telling is the concept that that Hobie never ages. That he's like, I have a son, and he's always super young, which makes me look young, or hey, why is Hasselhoff the only guy on here without abs? Well, you see, he was grandfathered in before you had to have abs. Like that sort of thing. or my favorite, but it's very deep cut, is just I've had lots of girlfriends. One of them was a frog. She blew up.
Well,
it won't make any sense, but yeah, we keep doing that 12 bricks thing, and I hope it's still on YouTube, just because
I just found 12 bricks.
I feel like retelling it is like its own joke, where it's like, these guys are rapping about 12 bricks, sitting on the side of the road. But like, the way that it's got a really good like rhythm to it and melody, and he's like, I just found 12. He just looks to the side, he goes 12, and it has like an echo, 12. Whoa! And like he's got like chromatic aberration, like the camera gets all like unfocused, and he like reels backwards in this revelation that there's 12 whole bricks on the side of the road. Like, if it didn't have that level of production, it wouldn't have. It wouldn't work as a meme. The fact that it's got way more effort than it really needed to is what makes it work.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
What are we looking for? Hold on.
We're looking for railing, window frame, and wooden trims.
Alright, well the railings are only on the, let's see here. Yeah, they're only on the, front and back porch.
Are you a railing? You look like a railing.
Yeah, here's some railings. The thing about the railings is that the glow, when you have an item highlighted, the glow is white. So if the item's already white, like these white painted railings, it's kind of hard to see.
Oh, you got the railing. Okay, now we need the window frame.
Alright.
Wooden trim.
Window frame. It's got to be one of these. Oh, and the top of the garage. I feel like that's one of the last things that we got one of the previous times that we cleaned this house. We didn't realize that the top of the garage was even like a thing you needed to clean.
Right. I got that denim.
The Alaskan tuxedo. Denim on denim.
Why am I struggling so much with goddamn ladders in this game?
But I can't blame you. The ladders are weirdly like slippery.
It takes like a billion years for me to get up a fucking ladder.
It's something about now. I think this game was made in Unity, so like the collision physics are a little funky. And the weird thing is, you can slide off the ladder while going up it, and it tries to guide you to the center, but like. I think they should have it like a mine. You know how in Minecraft, if you're crouched, then you can't fall off a block, and that makes it really, really useful for like avoiding falling off the cliffs.
Yeah.
Well, they should do that with the ladder, where if you hit like shift or something, you grab onto the ladder. Whether or not it's an animation, it would play a sound effect or something, and make it that you can go up and down slowly, and you can go side to side without worrying about falling off the ladder. Because I've noticed. If you touch the ladder correctly, you like lock onto it. You can't move left and right. But you...
but it's very hard to do.
But if you're not locked onto it, you'll slide right off super easily. It's very funky. What the heck do you mean wooden trim? I think... Oh yeah! We had done this before, and I think wooden trims was the basically the belt.
Yeah,
the sort of like
belt thing.
ankle height, the knee height.
Dirty one. Oh, is it that? Are you the dirty window? No, you're not the dirty window. God damn it!
Oh, there it is. Around the chimney. You know, I know that I've already got a lot on my plate, but I do also wish that I want to get good at art. But the thing is, I'm a little unrealistic. Where it's like, yeah, I want to be good enough that I could have like my art on like a Magic the Gathering card, not like original Magic the Gathering. I mean like modern Magic the Gathering, where it's like, it's really it's got like lots of colors and there's a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
I assume that hasn't changed since last I checked. Oh, hey, this too.
Hopefully.
Oh, of course. Well, yeah, Luigi, I can't blame you for this one. It's not only is it a white surface, but it's partially covered by the gutter, and it's facing the sun, which means it's got the most amount of light already. It's
Man, come on,
Yeah.
dude.
have an update or something that you can make it that the glow. Ooh, you know what? You know what'd be even better than glowing white if it like shifted in color. Like if it wiggled or something. Not wiggled, but you know what I mean? Like if it like flickered and or if it changed hue. That way if it was white, it doesn't just glow, it would also be like, "Ooh, I'm a little bit green," and you'd be like, "Ah, okay."
Right, right.
Because they already use orange for the dirt. What am I doing up here? I'm just following you.
I'm looking for fucking window frames. Because I keep looking for...
Are these not window frames?
Yeah, but do you see any dirt on them?
Oh, I just remembered. That was the other thing. Wooden trim isn't just the belt, it's also the corners of the house.
Yes.
You get that end. And I'll get this.
I see no dirt.
It was weird because someone did like a review of the robot, what's his name, Hux or whatever. He's got a longer name, but it's numbers. For Dead by Daylight, but I think they had a very different interpretation. Where their thing was, this was a slasher caused by like an existential crisis per se. But I read the lore on the wiki. And although he does become self-aware, he just really doesn't like humans and finds them, what's the word? He just like, what's the word? He finds humans self-destructive. It's sort of that classic robot thing where it's like, well, humans can't take care of themselves, and I'd rather just destroy them and do my own robot thing.
Yeah, that Ultron syndrome or whatever.
I just realized that, like, it's probably taking a lot of the entity's power and focus to keep Pyramid Head from just haunting the other slashers. Because Pyramid Head's whole thing is, like... Well, I mean, his whole thing is dealing with guilt, and the other slashers aren't necessarily, like, guilty for whatever their backstory is. But it would be cool if he did. Because, like, he's got a lot to work with. He's like, yo, you should put me in the candy store. This is all people dealing with various crimes they've done. Like, you gave me Michael Myers.
Oh, dude, Pyramid Head would have a fucking field day with Michael Myers.
That's his whole thing. If anything, his whole problem is that he doesn't feel guilt at all, and that's a whole different issue. It's like that it's like that Ogloff comic where it's like there's this weird looking like monster thing. It's like, whoa, what are you? I'm a creature that feeds on fear. I don't really feel that afraid. That's because I'm eating all the fear before you can feel it. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, hey, an alligator. I'm gonna go wrestle it. and then the monster is like sitting there. He's like, I feel like I should feel worse about this. And then another monster shows up. And he's like, I'm a creature that feeds on guilt.
How am I not finding any more dirt? I cannot find the stupid fucking window frame that apparently exists.
So we have wooden window frames and wooden trim. I'm gonna handle the wooden trims because I think I can narrow it down to. Oh, okay. This porch.
I've been searching a million years for this.
Yeah, we didn't get this. There we go. There we go. Nice, nice. We have one wooden trim left. I would love if it automatically selected whatever the next item was and told you what it was. Like on the list. Like it would go ding and then it would tell you the next one. Especially when you have like 5 items left.
Wait, hold on, hold on. There you are, motherfucker! How do I... That's very
I'm a big nerd, so I want to help. I want to help, like, especially, like, smaller companies get their, do, like, bug reports and stuff. And I joined the Dredge Discord, 1, because I like the lore and stuff, but 2, because I really wanted to submit a bug report, and I still haven't done it.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, I noticed, and it's a really minor one, too. It's one that only someone as weird as me would point out, which was, when you talk to a character, it'll bring up like different dialogue options. But if you're impatient and you click while those dialogue, if you click while those dialogue options are loading in, it'll highlight whatever you clicked, and it'll remain highlighted if your cursor isn't on it. Not exactly game breaking, but it's a bit of polish that I imagine would be an easy fix, and I'd like to be able to help. I feel like I'm helpful somehow. You're right. This last wooden, we're like a full-on manhunt for this last wooden trim. We need bloodhounds that can smell carpentry.
We need bloodhounds that can smell all various kinds of dirt and gunk.
I really want to make a meme that is just
Taylor,
the bounty hunter.
Or
I want to make a meme that's the bounty hunter from Avatar: Last Airbender, June, on her Shearshoe, and it's just like, I hired June, and it's just a meme of like June on her Shearshoe, and it's like it's not even June's Shearshoe has been able to find who asked.
But did you fucking hear the Dirt Hound joke that I made?
Sorry, I missed that. I'm sorry.
I was interrupting you with the joke, and you just talked over it. Very rude.
Sorry. Sorry.
This is a gunk
Some
hound.
kind of dirt
We're
hound?
talking about bloodhounds for dirt, and I said a gunk hound or a dirt hound. That's it. That's the joke.
Hey, wait a minute. Are they called bloodhounds? Yeah, hold on. Are they called bloodhounds because they're supposed to be able to smell blood? Like, what? I wonder if that's related to their name, or if it's unrelated.
Yeah, does that have to do with their ability to smell blood, or is it something about their, like, breed?
Because if you had a hunting dog, then you would want it to smell blood, because if you hit a prey animal and it scampers away, then your dog can smell the blood and then be able to track it. Like, you don't use your dog for primary hunting, as far as I know. You use them for like tracking and retrieval.
Right.
That's why I love the concept of like the duck hunt style dogs, where if you're hunting ducks or whatever, you don't want to like jump into a river to pick up a duck, but a dog will gladly do that.
Right. Where the fuck is this goddamn tree?
Yeah, I don't see. Where is the wooden trim? They need to add a dirt radar. That's one thing that Viscera cleanup detail had, was a dirt radar.
Huh.
I'm looking at, is it like one of the small pieces that we just haven't seen, like one of the little angly bits?
Maybe.
I'm checking oh wait, is it the entire front porch? Yeah, oh my gosh, it's the entire front porch.
Are you serious?
Of course it's the entire front porch. Yeah, right here. Under here. Give it a look-see. Look at that.
Oh, fuck you! How the hell was I supposed to find that? How the hell did you find that, man? I shouldn't have even found the fucking window frame.
That's one thing I like about the crouch system. There's something kind of ominous when you start a game about cleaning things, and you can crouch. There's 2 crouching positions.
Yeah.
It's like crouching and going prone. Because prone, this. By the way, if you look in your bottom right corner of the screen, prone looks like someone actually like going prone, like with a sniper rifle. But if you look at me while I'm doing it, it's just a really low crouch. So it's like, yeah, it's like, hold on, I'm standing on the, like, here's me standing on the stool. Now I'm sitting down, Lujek.
Yeah.
I'm at maximum footage. This is as much as I can sit. But like you know things are gonna have a little shenanigans when you can crouch that low, because it means that by design the game will put things that low. You have to like clean the underside of the tables and stuff.
Yeah. Oh hey, Kyle's here. He asks if we're gonna get the SpongeBob DLC. Yeah, probably at some point.
I think so. Yeah. I look forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, we're going to call it here for now. Thank you guys.
Wow, it's man. You know, with Stardew, I like.
Wait, first we need to look at our fucking reshoot or our recording.
Yep, and I will stand right in front of you and wiggle around.
Matt,
it would be funny if the. It would be funny if the menu worked like it did in Borderlands, where it's like a hologram you hold in front of you. So if your buddy is like right next to you, you can like see, you can just see them wiggling in the background.
Like, fuck around with their vision, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so that's another job done.
Can you see me in the corner? I should be.
Oh yeah, I'm off the screen now. I'm looking at you. I'm no longer looking at the fucking.
No, I wanted to be in just the right position, so when you're playing it, I'm just like standing there staring at you.
Yeah, you're just constantly in the corner of the screen, looking doing an impersonation of Donald Glover, pretending to be shocked and awed of like some celebrity person from Reading Rainbow.
I noticed Donald Glover in this movie, and then it's just that gif of Donald Glover with the microphone. Good. Absolutely reeling at Donald Glover as Prowler.
Oh man. Oh yeah, Donald Glover as Prowler.
He's really mad about not getting that ice cream home before it melted.
How do I not remember that bit?
Well, that's how he's introduced. Is like Spider-Man's like, yeah. He webbed his hand to the trunk. He's like, all right, I'll just leave you here for the police. You know, just don't do crimes. He's like, I got ice cream in the trunk.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right, bro. There's that ice cream in the trunk. I gotta get back to my nephew. Come on,
I like to believe that was his inciting incident. That's when he became the Prowler to hunt Spider-Man.
You made me waste so much money on all this melted ice cream. That's not.
I feel like if your thing is like hunting Spider-Man, that like if you unmasked a Spider-Man that was dressed differently and was a different size, and he had your face, I feel like that would be a moment where you'd be like, hold up,
wait a minute, something's not right, dude. If I point my crosshair in like the middle of your visor, it looks like you have like one eye.
Oh,
just in the middle of your face.
I just thought of something kind of dumb though. What if they added like a in-game chat system, but it had like an option for was it like realistic in-game chat, and all it does is muffle your voice as if you're wearing the paint mask. It's like Ron. Turns the treble way down.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, our episodes vary a bit. Where if we're like on the verge of like a breakthrough in like Phoenix Wright, then we do that. If we're playing PowerWash Simulator, we kind of just get distracted. I get lost in the game.
Yeah, we do.
With Stardew, because I'm not only like Stardew adjacent. Like I'm not like crazy about Stardew, and that's why like from my perspective, I'm like, yeah, I could end it here. Like I've just that's why like I'm weirdly short about it.
Yeah.
I apologize. But yeah, we gotta call it here. Our next episode, I believe, will be the shoe house.
Oh yeah, shoe house. And...
We're cleaning a shoe. A shoe? Gesundheit.
Thanks.
I just noticed this. If let's see, if you turn left. So if I turn
shoe, thanks, and then just start spraying you with water for no reason.
If I turn left, if you look at my hip. No, not if you turn left. Stop moving. On my hip, if my character model is similar to yours, then you can actually see the PDA on my hip.
Bro, I was making a joke about your bless you thing that I was trying to add on to again, and you did that thing where you were so focused talking about it that you talked over me instead of listening to the joke I was trying to make again.
Well, it was a joke you were trying to make.
You said you made the gazoon tight joke.
Yeah,
And then I said
achoo,
thank you,
achoo.
and then I just started spraying you with water, and that's it. That's the joke. Thank you, and then.
Oh, wait a minute. I just realized something. Hold on, spray me again.
Yeah, it's physics enabled. I can.
No, I know that, but hold on. Hold that exact pose and don't spray. Now we'll spray you with this, because what if I hit the same exact point that you did? It like makes your sprayer invisible.
Well, I can still see your spray. Oh, invisible to you?
No, as in like when you were spraying over me, when the cone was slightly, like just slightly above where my sprayer should be,
Oh.
it like clips into it and it makes it like it shows the splatter instead of my sprayer.
That's interesting.
And I was wondering if that applied to yours as well, where
Maybe,
if I
do it
hit
again.
it just right. Alright. If I get it just right.
I can still see the stream.
Maybe it's only with these the weird skin that this thing has.
Maybe it's because you have a better power washer than me, because I haven't gotten to quite the level you're at yet.
Well, no, it's a graphics thing that's coming from your spray.
Huh.
So I figure it must be either how it's rendering the first person view of what I'm holding.
Maybe, because I'm shooting directly above your eyes. Like, from my point of view, I'm shooting at, like, the top of your head.
Oh, yeah, no, you gotta aim a little bit lower. A little bit higher. Sort of like where my nose would be, I think. Yeah. I believe my actual vision box is around where my nose is, and if I move up and down like this, then from my camera, it's basically like there's an invisibility spray, and I'm just dipping it in and out.
Ah,
that's weird.
Interesting. What happens if we spray each other at the same time?
What, Newtonian physics? We just spray each other. We spray apart from each other. Dude,
anyway.
You know, it'd be cool if they had like little things that you could activate by spraying, because that's how games always work. Where like the main mechanic is how you operate things. So it would have like a thing where it's like, oh, you spray this, and it would open like the garage door or whatever.
You know, I could totally see them adding some kind of like PowerWash gimmick to like a sequel to It Takes Two. Like a whole segment where it's like
a PowerWash bit. That's so sideways. I can't even get into that right now. But I appreciate. I just realized one last thing. I don't know if we found a gnome on this map, because there should be one hiding around here somewhere. And it's like in a neighborhood, so you figure it would be in like one of the neighbors. Oh, there it is. There it is. I found it.
Where? Oh, so.
If you look.
Oh,
like,
I see it. It's all the way over there.
Yep. I think they have a gnome in each map.
I believe they do.
Yeah.
But yeah. So.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and this was fun. I hope. Now, I should be. Hopefully, we can do some. Hopefully, we can do some Phoenix Wright. But next week, I won't be streaming for a couple of the days because I will be elsewhere.
Oh yeah.
I don't really have my full setup. So. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, I've been Taylor.
Why did that look like a weirdly unrealistic high jump for you? Do it again.
Yeah.
Is that just...
Oh, well, if you hit if you hit, because of how the hitboxes work, how the physics works, if you run and then, like, hit, like, a bush or other objects, you'll sort of ramp off of it and it'll keep your momentum.
Superhuman heights.
Yeah, there's basically no friction when you're jumping off when you collide with something.
Oh, dude, that's so cool! I can launch myself, White.
Yeah, I mentioned that in a previous episode that I figured that out. It's like, and I was like, yeah, it's like when Jackie Chan does a tic tac over something, where you do a jump and then you. And there's an object at another height. You jump off that one too. Yeah.
You just fly for no reason.
But yeah, it's because of how the like colliders work. Luckily, it's really low friction, which I appreciate because I feel like That's way funner. That's way more fun than if the bushes had like realistic friction and you just stopped.
Oh yeah, for sure. What about the tree?
I think
Does
they
it
should
look
lower the
like a tree?
friction even more, make the skate park level really fun.
Yeah, exactly. Can I? Aha! This is so much fun.
Add a bunch
Alright.
of cleaning tools that are just based off of various weapons from like Splatoon. Like, oh, here's like a mine that goes off and like it cleans an area that's got like a radius to it.
Splatoon's another game I need to play.
But yeah, I've been Taylor,
I've been Lou Jack.
and I'm reminding you to take care.
Stay awesome.
Don't ever spray someone with a real power washer. They're very dangerous.
Ever in real life, don't do that.
And we'll see you next time.
If you ever do that, I will come to your house and make you feel inside. Okay, real quick. I was watching a fucking Disney rankings.
No!
video.
No more sides! We have to log off!
Alright, bye.
Bye!